Welcome to the WorkHARDAholics Show with your host, the original WorkHARDaholic, Shirley Crawford, author, speaker, and small business consultant for over 20 years, helping you to work hard, play harder, and business better. Okay. Welcome to another episode of WorkHARDaholics. We have one more show and the year's over. Right? That's right. Saturday is Christmas, which means that'll be the 25th. Then we'll have one more week and we'll be into a whole entire new year. Like, how many of you all started the year going, oh, I can't believe, when is this going to be over? In 2 weeks. That's it. All right. So, wonderful WorkHARDaholics. Welcome. Bienvenido. I am Shirley Crawford, your host, the original WorkHARDaholic. And for those of you who are like, what does that word mean? I'm American, so I made it up. So, the word means someone who is always doing something. We don't rest on our laurels. We don't wait for the world. We take it to the world. We're out here getting the job, D-O-N-E, done. Done. But here's the thing. We're not the average bear, so we get a lot more done in 8 hours than other people do. We just do. So with that in mind, we try to find a way to be able to live in balance. And if that means doing a podcast while in your car, driving to your next destination, then Socialita Christina would definitely be a workaholic. Yeah.
Hello. Did you hear me singing "Taking It to the Street"?
I did not. I missed it. That's But clearly you are taking it to the streets without a shadow of a doubt.
Yes, I had a morning meeting that kind of ran over. And I was like, oh my God, it's time for WorkHARDaholics.
It's time for the show.
Yes. So I'm here.
Estás aquí.
Yes.
I'm going to need to have a refresher of my Espanol, clearly. It's in there. It's in there somewhere. So if you all haven't gathered, is she still on my left? Yes, to my left, virtually. Yes. I have none other than Socialita Christina.
Okay, so I'm going to try to talk and drive at the same time and make sure I don't get a ticket.
We don't want no problems now. We understand being a workaholic, but we do need you to be safe. So if you have to like zone out and we catch you back, when you're good again, you just let us know.
No, it's no problem. So yes, my name is Christina. I'm also known as Socialita Christina. And I am a social media maven. I have a social media agency called Socialita. Yes, focus on small businesses, helping them to build a voice for their brand. And we cover RVA as well as Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And I mean, we're just all things social media.
All things social media.
All things. And your reels, your videos, your everything, your content creation, your strategy, because that's so important. We do all that stuff for you, so you don't have to.
So that you don't have to. We work hard so that you don't have to.
That is true.
It is clearly Christmas, right? So I have all the commercials in the brain right now. They're all there because 'tis the season for most people to be shopping. And so
Yeah.
I feel like I have every commercial known to mankind just kind of floating through my mind. Plus, I love a good commercial. I do. I love our commercial. Thank you, Christina at the Imagine Media Lab. I love our commercial. Okay, maybe you all get to see it later. All right, we're gonna get this party started, but first and foremost, want to say thank you for your support, especially over the past 2.5 years. I think I got that right. The past 2.5 years, especially through this pandemic.
Yes.
Um, just really appreciate your support. And although we are very grateful for all that you have done in the past, we want more.
Yes.
I did say we're very American. All right, so here's the deal. We have been, okay, blame it on me because I keep changing my direction and strategy. When we started this show, I always said I wanted to have, more than 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
But what did I start working on? I worked on Facebook for a little while.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, I want to go live on TikTok, which I'm not even logged in right now. Yeah. So then we worked really hard to make that happen. So we got it. We can go live on TikTok. And then here it is today, and I forgot to even log into TikTok. And then, we thought about Instagram. We've done everything but the one thing that I said I really wanted from the beginning. So this is the reason why we have business plans, people, so that we can always revisit them and go back and see what was the original plan. So the original plan was that we can go live on YouTube, which we can now, right? We can go live on YouTube, right?
Yes.
But I wanted to have over 1,000 subscribers. And considering that I know we have touched more than 1,000 people, I don't even have to guess about that. Then I need all of you. You and you and you and you and you and you. And I need you to like, share, subscribe, repeat. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Repeat. I didn't sing it as many times as I normally do. But sincerely, I would love it if we could have this before the new year. And there's no reason why we can't, people.
That's true.
All you have to do is go up to the little red button. Okay, first of all, I'm talking about YouTube. Let me be clear. So I appreciate your support on other platforms, but this moment, I am asking for YouTube support. So go visit us on YouTube. It's a long name, so just type in WorkHARDAholics. No S. WorkHARDAholic. And find us. WorkHARDAholic. See how much easier I can spell that these days? Go to our page. Click subscribe. Go to a video. Like it. Watch it. Even if you don't watch the whole thing. We like it if you do. And then like it. So we're trying to increase our presence. We're trying to make sure that more people are able to receive this information. Because really, if you came into my office, I charge you a whole lot more per hour to sit and listen to me talk about things relating to business. So it is our pleasure to come on and share. Now we're saying Christmas is a gift that keeps on giving. Give us a like, a share, a subscribe, and then repeat it. And then you can share it, and you'll share it with a person, and they'll share it with a person, and they'll share it with a person. I'm pretty sure it's an AT&T commercial. I told you I had commercials on the brain.
Okay.
All right, so thank you all for what you have done thus far. Thank you for your support. Please like, share, subscribe, repeat. Okay. And so, as we always like to do, we start off with our word for the week. I feel like I'm going to pre-record at some point in time why we do a word for the week. Because as I tell you each week, why did we do a word for the week? Let me tell you. Here is the deal, people. Our world is based off of communication. And a lot of times I'm saying something to you and you're hearing something totally different. So how we make sure that we're on the same page is that we make sure that when we're using a word, one, we're using it correctly. Two, we're understanding what the other person is saying. So we begin that with our word for the week in our effort to help you not waste time arguing, not waste time disagreeing when you really agree with the person and what they said. So our word for this week is gold brick.
Oh, okay.
It's really a word. I kid you not. And so it sounds like something valuable, but it's the exact opposite. Because
Okay.
first things first, real gold is in bars, not bricks. Anyone else catch that? All right. So that's the first thing. So if it's a brick, it's anytime it's a brick, except for building your house, it's not a positive thing. A brick in basketball, means that they threw a bad throw. Like,
Right.
oh, that was a brick. You went up for it, you missed, you didn't even do it. So a gold brick is the same. You tried, you failed, right? A gold brick is something that looks like gold, but it's something that is totally false, totally fake, totally not real. It looks like it, but it's not, right? Um, Another piece of it is, and this was the part that really fascinated me on how I got started with it, right? It's a person who shirks responsibility or they perform half heartedly, someone who is not giving their all, or someone who procrastinates. It's actually a synonym for procrastinate. Right.
Okay.
And so I've been really focused on procrastination because every blue moon, okay, actually several moons, I will procrastinate. And so my reasons for procrastination are my own. No, really. My reasons for procrastination are because, generally speaking, I excel at the things that I do. And so oftentimes someone can be given an 8 hour time block to do something, and I might be able to do it in two or even an hour and a half. So rather than do it and knock it out and have the other time where someone else could potentially give me another assignment, I will wait.
Okay.
I will gold brick it and yeah. I will gold brick it and then do it at the last minute and still have it done the same time as anyone else. It's a terrible habit from back in the day when I actually was an employee and had bosses who couldn't appreciate the fact that I could do it in two, but they thought, oh, if you can do it in two, that means I should just give you 5 times the work. No, that's not what you paid me for. You paid me based on average, not based on exceptional. So it's a terrible, terrible, terrible habit. And even though I've been my own entrepreneur for a while now, I still catch myself procrastinating. Like just gold bricking it, putting it off until the last minute. Terrible habit. And I trained myself to do it for so long. Now I've got to untrain. I know. Untrain is not a word. Is untrain a word? Retrain, I know it's a word. See, this is what happens in my brain. I sit around and think about the word like, is that legit? Well, either way, I know I have to retrain my brain. So that is to gold brick. And I thought about it especially because it's Christmas. And everybody, this is the final week of Christmas, right? It's the final week. Christina with the K, do you buy Christmas gifts? Do you do Christmas like that?
No. Mm-mm.
So she has nothing to procrastinate about. I was just thinking.
We don't celebrate Christmas, so yeah, I don't have to buy any gifts or none of that. I have to duck because I ain't get nobody nothing. None of that.
Yeah. So this Christmas is the first time in a long time that I actually did some of my preparation in advance. Like I think I actually almost did all my shopping like a month ago.
What? Okay.
Like I think. So now I have to go back. This is what I'm actually going to do. Probably, yeah. I don't. I hope to do it today, but it probably be tomorrow, so that I might be that last minute shopper on Friday. But I'm like, oh, let me go through my list because I have a gigantic. I was thinking gargantuan. I have a gigantic family, and I love it. Love my family. Love my people. But like, I have 12 nieces and nephews. I have one, two, three. I don't want to miss anybody. 3 great nephews. 3 great nieces. I think that's accurate. And that doesn't include the fact that I'm one of 6. And then I have my mother, and then extended family. And I think I'm really big on like family is family. So like My brother-in-law, who I really just normally call my brother, but I don't like to confuse people to think that my brother and sister married each other. So I will clarify when I speak of him as my brother-in-law, but really he's just my brother. Or I have a few of those, but one in particular, like his family, I think of as my family. So like he has his Aunt Ann, and I'm like, okay, yeah, hi Aunt Ann. I mean, I call her the same. That's just how, So my point is family, big, family, big, family, big. And so I think I did all of my shopping already. I have some things that I still need to finish making, some DIY projects, but I think I bought all my stuff. I think everybody but my mother. I think she might be the only one that haven't bought her gift. And that's because it was huge. So I don't believe I gold bricked this one, but I won't be able to confirm until I check my list. So, but that is what really made me think about gold brick. I was really thinking about the fact that most people I know that most people procrastinate because I see you all every year out there with me shopping on Christmas Eve. I'm like, yeah, we did something. We procrastinated. We gold bricked it, people. Hopefully this year I am not amongst that number. So once again, our word for this week: gold brick. Had you heard that one before, Christina?
Never.
Me either. Honestly, I had never heard that word before. So I share with you. I am sharing with you either words that I love or like just words as I learned them. Like, oh, here's one. Although someone told me I am real OE, not OG, OE, Old English. I like the original word, the original meaning of a word. And as people are changing, they're abbreviating in different ways. And so like I sometimes do have a Victorian thing about me. I called a friend of mine last night, and he was like, "How art thou?" And I was like, you know what? I say that all the time. Like a lot of my people say it back to me now, and I'm like, what is the right response to that? I've asked that of people like for eons. I'm like, yeah, how art thou? Yeah. Okay, back to 2021, almost 2022. Okay. So, our word for the week: gold brick. Alrighty. Okay, so our new segment, Business Better. I wanted to share some news for you entrepreneurs who received funding for COVID-19. All right. And so this may apply if you got PPP. It should apply if you got EIDL, but it's real murky right now. And as I always say, I am not a CPA. So you're going to want to check with your CPA about this. So there is a great possibility that you might have to perform a single audit if you received COVID-19 funding from the federal government. All right. And so for those you're going, what? Okay, if you are not a nonprofit, nonprofits, generally speaking, get an audit every year. And so they are not single. They are continuous. They get an audit every year because they're receiving funds, and so they have to be able to show how they allocated them, that they're running their business appropriately. Nonprofits have a whole other level of accountability that you for-profit people know nothing about, but you're about to learn some of it. So when it comes to the single audit, I will tell you from experience, if you're going to a reputable CPA, a certified public accountant, if you're going to a reputable CPA, their firm, they normally charge $1,200 upward of multiple thousands to do a decent audit. Right? And I don't know if they're going to come out with a CPA special for you or if they're going to jack the price up because so many of you are going to need one. I don't know. Not a CPA, but that's an FYI. And let me tell you what's normally involved. So if you work for like a mental health agency or a medical firm, you're probably accustomed to audits, and it's like that, but it's a lot more financial rather than just about your client information. So they tend to show up. If you're scheduling with a CPA, then it's not a surprise. Only when you're working with an agency that you're working under do they do these surprises. For you small business owners, you should be scheduling this audit yourself. And so ask them for the type of documentation they're going to be looking for. And it will vary. And so if you, whatever you claimed on your, especially for your EIDL loan, right? Whatever you claimed on there, if you claimed that you needed to use the money for paying employees, doing repairs, you need to have all of that documentation. If you claim that you only had $20,000 saved, but really, I don't know what you really had, then you, whatever you put on that report, you need to be able to show documentation for. So this is a heads up, because I would assume this is going to line up with tax time, which isn't until April, but I don't know for sure because no one knows right now. Right now, it's just, hey, this could be happening. And so with that in mind, right now, you should be prepping anyway for tax season. So keep in mind, pull out your application, your copy of your application that you did for your EIDL loan, or your EIDL. The L stands for loan. Or if you want to look at, like, what did you put in your application? What was that information? Pull out everything you have that relates to that. Consult with your CPA and say, okay, so I hear this might be happening. What would I need? And start getting quotes now to see, like, what is this going to cost you? I'm just saying. So as we help you do business better, we want to make sure that you have the information you need to be successful. We don't want you to be shocked and surprised, often like, oh my God, they need XYZ. That's why a lot of you have problems getting the PPP loan to begin with, because you didn't have the documentation to be able to apply. So I'm giving you a heads up. Heads up. Get the documentation. Find out from your CPA what they would charge. If you don't have a CPA, get a referral for someone in your area. Check out their reviews, all that good stuff. Call around. I'm a firm believer. I'm like the federal government. 3 quotes. I believe in it. And see what they're going to cover, how long it's going to take, the whole 9. All right. So heads up, you might have to do an audit. Welcome to the world of a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how it goes. And then another piece that I wanted to share for our Do Business Better, our Business Better segment. I shared this last week, and I want to repeat it again. All right. If you are a Black-owned business, then I would highly suggest you get certified and registered. There's a program that's being held by, it's an organization, the Black Chambers, the Black Chamber of Commerce, in addition with American Express. Right? And so American Express is a very large supporter of Small Business Saturday. And so they do a lot of things for small businesses. And now they're putting their money where their mouth is. And they are also participating and engaging with regards to Black-owned businesses. And when you register for the program, they have certifications, they have information, technology, resources, all kinds of things. And I haven't seen anything that had a price tag on it. Everything that I've seen has been gratis, totally free. So I highly recommend, for if you are a Black-owned business, that you register. The link is at the bottom of the screen. It's pretty long, but if you just go to the US Black Chamber, usblackchambers.org and look for Black Business Certification. I'm not sure what the title will be, but you can find it from there, or you can screenshot this, or I guess we could be good and copy it into the chat. We could be good. I'm not sure that we will be. So just in case we're not, go look that up. Go get registered. Those are the things that you want to do. All right. And on that note, is Christina still driving? Christina, are you ready to do the Socialita Business Check-in?
Sure. So this point in time in the in this podcast, we talk about small businesses that are literally just doing their thing, right?
Do it.
So, yes, we want to just shout you guys out and let the world know about you all. So the first company that I'd like to shout out, of course, is Second Chance Consulting.
Woo-hoo.
That you need some assistance with your small business, you don't know where to start, right? because not everyone has mentors or someone that they can ask. Reach out to Second Chance Consulting with Shirley Crawford.
Yeah.
Yes. Next is the Imagine Media Lab. If you or someone you know, you're looking to start your podcast, like, listen, Facebook Live can only get you so far, sis. Okay. So contact the Imagine Media Lab so that you can have some type of professionalism, right, to your videos, to your podcast, or whatever it is that you are trying to do. If you need a promo video, make sure that you contact them as well for that. Okay. You're trying to do a YouTube series, because I know I have one coming out really soon that the Imagine Media with. So listen, if you're not very tech savvy, contact them. Okay. The next company is Professional Services. They help you. They do a lot of stuff. So like, they help you with your resume. They help you with career building. They also do like credit repair. They do a lot of things. So check out. Let's see. Cigars in Society by Kevin Fox. So if you love cigars, you love that whole atmosphere, you love the relaxation that comes with it all, check them out on Instagram. Follow them. See what they're all about. And that's all that I have for the business check-in.
All right. And if you too would like your business to get a shout out during the Socialita business check-in, then drop us a line. Why am I thinking of the email address? admin@WorkHARDAholics, WorkHARDAHOLICS.com. All right. We are about to hear a word from our sponsors, which could be you. Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA. When you're ready for more than just office space, come join the WBCRVA family. Welcome back. Okay. Once again, thank you to our sponsors. If you too would like to be a sponsor, then please feel free to leave us a message. There's a link. I just can't think what it is. So feel free to leave us a message at admin@WorkHARDAholics.com. Alrighty then. So, a couple other things we want to make sure that you all are aware of. If you're still looking for that last minute Christmas gift and you have someone in your life who is an entrepreneur, and they're either looking to start a business and don't have an idea of where to get started, maybe they've started and they're missing some foundational pieces, then the next cohort for Entrepreneur Academy begins March 2022. Registration is open now. So once again, you can send me an email, shirley@WorkHARDaholics.com, for more information. All right, so there is that. Then I really want to share with you all, especially as we're talking about Goldbrick and the things that are happening potentially with your taxes or payments that you're going to have to make to the federal government. It's the end of the year. There's a lot happening. I wanted to share a tool because especially, I don't know, the past 6 months maybe, I have noticed that more and more and more and more and more and more and more entrepreneurs have no idea of how to handle their books. And so I've said it in the past that the number one reason that businesses go out of business is money.
Yeah.
Lack of cash flow. So, and I know we talk about this. Christina, do you know for you, like, how long does it take on average for someone to pay your invoice?
Oh, Jesus. Listen. So on average, 7 days, but I have had somebody push it to like 30 to 60 days.
Yeah. And for some people that's quite normal. Right? And so what that normally means is here you are, a business owner, you're providing a service. If you have staff, you're paying that. If you are renting or owning, you have mortgage, you're paying that. You're paying for utilities, you're paying for advertisements, you're paying for all the cost of running business. Right? I mean,
Yes.
the list is endless. Well, it has to have an end, hopefully. But the list is extensive of the things that you have to pay for, and you have to pay for them whether or not someone is paying you. And that's why oftentimes you like, well, they let somebody go. Well, why did they let them go? Either they're, I want to say incompetent, either they're not performing the job up to the standard that is required by the company. There is that. But in most of the cases, you all are perfect. It's not that that's what's happening. But does the company have money to pay you? Has there been a shift, a change? Are people not buying, Furbies anymore? And so you're out of business. You're out of luck. But the real number one reason, once again, is lack of cash flow, right? So what that means, I said it before, I'll say it again. So what that means is you have a contract with Dominion Energy. All right, they're a large company. Hello, Dominion Energy people. You have a large contract with them. It's for $50,000. So according by your P&L, that $50,000 is counted. So when you're trying to figure out that you have $10,000 in expenses and you're supposed to have $40,000 in profit, which is highly unlikely, but just in case, it's all an imaginary story. Why not make it pretty? You're supposed to have extra and you don't, because that $50,000 hasn't come in yet. A lot of your Fortune 500 companies don't pay in 30 days. Sometimes they don't pay in 60 days. Sometimes they pay once a quarter, which would be in 90 days.
Right.
And so you have to figure out, how do you keep running your business? Do you have enough money to run your business for at least 90 days while you wait for the money to come in? Because if not, you can be closing your doors and have a successful business. I mean, really, you're getting contracts, you're getting paid, it's just when. So technically speaking, everything should be running smoothly, but you have a lag in your receipt of funds. And so in that vein, that's part of the reason why I've been very, 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 very focused on all things relating to lucre, all things relating to money. All right. So on that note, that's why we had to get that lovely check-in for do business better segment to let you all know potentially things that could be impacting your bottom line. But now I want to share a time tool technique also related. It's called, believe it or not, cash flow, but it's cash flow with a K. All right. And so when it comes to keeping your books, integrating them with your bank accounts, your PayPal, your Quicken, your Zelle, whatever you're using, I will say I prefer QuickBooks. And in part, that's just from ease of use. So because generally speaking, your accountant is probably using QuickBooks. There are some who use Quicken, like really geeky firms use Peachtree. Do you already know that Peachtree exists? It's like a real accountant's software, right? But these days we want an app for that. We want a way to be able to pull up our phone, figure out our budget, add in our expenses, figure out what's going on with our payroll. We want to be able to like tap, tap, tap into our phones, right? And therefore I introduce to you Cashflow with a K. They have a free trial. I don't actually know their full list of expenses. This is not a referral. Excuse me. This is not a recommendation. I haven't used the software yet. I have been told about the software, so I'm sharing it with you all as a resource because I'm also told it's not complicated to set up. It's pretty easy to use. It can help you track. It can help you figure out how you're spending, where you're spending. And for some of you, that might be enough to stop you from spending when you shouldn't be. I don't know. But I wanted to share a resource with you because I don't want you all to be another one of the negative statistics about small business owners who were here today, had a great product, a great service, were doing great things, but didn't have the cash coming in. And so they fizzled and died. If you're always looking around going, what happened to that business? Oh my God, I went to go get something from someplace and they were closed permanently. That's what happens. Although some businesses die from neglect, right? So you love that pie, you love that batting cage, I don't know. You love that place, that store, that thing, but then you never go back.
Right.
How do you think they're going to survive if you, their customer, who loves them so, doesn't come around? Just saying. But in the meantime, entrepreneurs out there, if you give cash flow a try, let me know. Let me know how it works for you. I did mention that I like my QuickBooks, but I kind of do. I would like to experiment with something on my phone as well. You'll let me know. We'll figure it out together. All right. And so once again, our time tool technique for this week is cash flow. It's an app for bookkeeping and your needs, your financial needs for your business. I don't know why I want to have like a little like musical interlude in between each thing that we do. But it is 'tis the season, and because it is, our book it moment this week. I don't know why I will make it the month. It's because the year is almost over. Our book it moment for this week is The Leadership Secrets of Santa Claus. Yes, I shared this book last Christmas as well. So if one of you writes another Santa Claus book that we can use for next Christmas, I'll be happy to share that instead. And so here's the deal about The Leadership Secrets of Santa Claus. When I first saw the book, I thought, ha 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 ha, funny. No, it's a real factual. It's a factual book based off of a mythical person. Facts based off of fiction. And so when I really contemplated it, like, I really thought about the fact of, like, for those of you who have employees, employees can be the most, right? So, like, Socialita Christina, who I've seen with her horde of employees, yeah.
Listen, the struggle, they can build you up or break you down.
All these things and in between, like, but can you imagine? Like, just for a moment, people, for those of you who believe in Santa Claus, that's nice. For those of you who don't believe in Santa Claus, let's operate on the fictional character as we best understand. Santa Claus is a warehouse owner.
Yes.
Right? So he has the warehouse. He makes toys. I'm willing to bet they import some, but hey, I don't know. Either way, there are parts and pieces. There are services that have to be done. And then there's all that merriment and joy for all the elves. I am sure that Santa Claus has a crazy, like, benefits package. Like, you're probably an elf for life if you work for Santa Claus, right? You're probably not going to go get another job. You're probably going to sit there. So there's health care, and there's so many moving pieces in the toy making warehouse of Santa Claus. I cannot honestly imagine. So I worked at a company where I had indirect supervision of, trying to think how many people were there. Like, they operated in shifts. So there were probably like 50 people a shift. And oh my God. What if so-and-so is off? What if so-and-so is on? What if so-and-so is sick? What if so-and-so doesn't get along with so-and-so? Do we have to rearrange and have a meeting? What if they need new skill sets? How do we celebrate birthdays? How do we honor, accomplishments? Like, what do we do? How much do we have to understand? How involved do we have to be in our employees' life? Like, there's a lot. So I think to myself, fictional Santa Claus as a real business person has got to be amazing. Christina, did I lose you on my Santa Claus analogy?
No, I'm riding this wave with you.
Ride the Wave. I'm just saying, I didn't write this book, but I just feel like it's very interesting. So within the book, they give you a lot of tips and tools that they believe Santa Claus would have to put in place in order to have a happy team, a productive team, and a team that produces a profit. And so I think it's a good read. I think it's a good read because I bought the book. I do own the book. This one is from my library. Yay! So I think it's worth reading. If you are a leader, especially if you have, you know, a significant number of employees, I think it's really important to be able. I think this is a very helpful book. I have shared this before. Different companies have different policies on how they maintain, manage, recognize, reward, and have reason to fire employees, right? And so I often the sum of who I am now is based off of things that have happened in my past, right? So I had one job. I won't say names of where. I could, but I won't. I had one job where I got a really, really, and this is like a miracle. And but anyway, I was at a, anyway, I got a really, really bad review. Does anyone else believe that? Anyone else believe I got a horrible review? Well, yeah. So, I mean, it was terrible. I mean, it's as close to zero as possible. And so, normally I protest if you don't give me the highest number. Like, it's normally to five. If you give me a four without justification, I will, like, come back. But in this case, we both knew that I was leaving the gig. But it's all based off of some other things that were transpiring. And so that was a state job. And so they have to do certain things, right? On the other end of that, when I worked for another company, they have a scale of how they measure you. And I've talked about it before. I might have even said the name of the company before. So they have A, B, C, and D employees. So it's not just that they register and rate you. So like for Christina, they don't just say, oh, you did an amazing job, and so we're going to promote you, or we're going to give you a pay raise, or just going to give you a good review. They compare everyone to everyone. So the understanding is if I have 5 managers on a team, which at that time, that's what they were. There were 5 managers on the team. 5. And so at least one of them has to be an A. One of them has to be a C. Period. Someone has to be the best. Someone has to be the worst. And other people have to be somewhere in between. Right. And the philosophy is but here's the crazy thing. So not only as you as a supervisor to these, in this case, I'm talking managers. So you have their supervisor over managers. And then what happens is the expectation is, and understanding is, if you are a C-level employee, they put you on a correction plan, which lasts 6 months to a year. And if you haven't gone up, they fire you. I have always thought that was the craziest thing because technically speaking, you could be a B level or an A level employee, but someone has to be a C. So if they were all Bs, the highest level B becomes an A, the lowest level B becomes a C, and then they follow you and they track you and they give you a whole game plan. But if you stay in the same department and you're still like the least productive of the great productivity, you get fired. So when we talk about leadership, I'm always fascinated by it. Have you ever seen a system like that, Christina? I don't know if her mic is on. And so to me, that is just the most insane thing I've ever heard. So it's not, I can understand comparing, contrasting to see where you are, to have aspirations. I believe for a lot of things in my life, I am actually better because of competition. So, because when I don't have competition, I can get lax. That's one thing. But for it to be that your competition can actually lead you out of a job because they won that competition. I just found that to be like, wow. I can't even imagine it. And they've had that policy for some time. So I'm like, nobody's protested this? Nobody sued you over it? I don't know. But once again, I am sure that's not how Santa Claus handles it. So, but that's part of the thing I always find fascinating about the whole idea of looking at different leadership skills and how people handle things. Because I look back at the way that even people have worked with me or I've worked with others, and I've gleaned from that to be what I hope is a better leader today. So, our bookend moment for this week, the leadership secrets of Ho 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 Santa Claus. Okay. How to Get Big Things Done in Your Workshop All Year Long by Eric Harvey. Okay. We are like coming close to our ending, which is amazing. So I want to talk about our work hard, play harder moment. So for us, it's not just a phrase, right? So we fully recognize and appreciate that if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. We talk about it a lot here at the Women's Business Center because women in particular are accustomed to and are so used to taking care of their spouse, their kids, their coworkers. Like, we're so used to coming in and taking care of everything. And we have this standard that's here, even though everyone else's might be here, we're still trying to live up to this standard. We're trying to bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan, and never ever let you forget you're the man. Yeah, that's Anjali, in case you didn't know that. That would be a perfume commercial from, I told you I'm on commercials right now, from long ago. But the point is, if you're not taking care of yourself, how did you have the energy? How are you able to smile for them when you're crying on the inside? Like, I firmly believe this is why people get divorced. I firmly believe this is why people snap. I firmly believe this is why you find, people on Prozac and drugged up, and they're trying to find a way to deal because it's hard to express where they are, right? Like, we have this standard of belief that this is who I am, this is how I have to be, this is what I have to do, this is what makes me a woman, this is what makes me successful, this is what makes me a leader, this is what makes me, but is it? Is it really? Right? And so I had talked with a friend of mine yesterday and was told, please make sure you're taking care of yourself. And I was like, I am not at this moment. But my game plan is present to make sure that I am. So, like, I fully understand that seasons come. So, like, right now in this season, I have so much going on. I mean, so much is happening. Absolutely positive. And a lot of it has a deadline. A lot of it is by this weekend, by the 1st. So we all accept and understand that sometimes you have deadlines and timelines, and you have things that are constricted in the window of when they can be completed, or the window of opportunity. Understood. Thug it out. Do your best. Work hard. Get it accomplished. But your whole year, it shouldn't be that you look stressed every time I see you. Like, every time I see you, you're running off to another meeting. You're running off. You're saying how overwhelmed you are. When are your breaks? That is the question. When are you taking time for you? And do you even know what it takes to make you happy? Do you even know what it takes for you to feel at peace? There are some people who can't even sleep because their mind is always like all the time, no matter what. What does it take for you to have a moment where you walk away from it with a smile, where it's over and you feel rested, you feel restored, you feel rejuvenated, you feel renewed? Any more R's that we want to throw in there? You feel like you've recuperated from everything that's happened before that. And for every person, that's different. And so our aspiration is not to say, take a vacation. That might not be the thing for you, right? We can't just tell you like what it is. Like I've mentioned before, like when I was in college, our thing was coloring books and jacks. So in the midst of stressful exams, to take a moment, grab crayons and like color. And it just felt like, ah, woosah. Or to play jacks in the hallway. Like stuff like that just for me, it's the things that don't require brain power. Right? So I have a private, now public addiction to like teenage movies, like teen girl movies, because the problems that they go on about, like for real, clothing and boys and a bad grade in school. I'm just like, oh my God, this is so cute. And it's just like, I don't have to think about it. I can just mellow out and laugh a little bit at, okay, at their expense, but that's why they're a TV show. That's why they're a movie. Um, or I know for me, like I think if you've been on the show at all, you know I love the beach. Um, I love being at the water, relaxing, and normally I prefer it by myself. Or if there's someone else along that they're sitting there in their chair, I'm sitting in mine, or I might stroll along the water and watch, nature at its best, and seagulls and turtles and just waves. No snakes, please. Um, but that's what it does for me. And when I'm sitting there, like I can literally feel the tension like leaving. What is that for you? For those of you who came to the Empower Conference, Coco Hayashi gave us a bunch of techniques for about face yoga, which I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard about it, I thought it was a joke. But it was really interesting and really fascinating. And a lot of you are carrying your stress on your faces. And so we see it. And so I highly recommend, if you can, watch the episode with Coco Hayashi or go see her stuff. She has an app. She is a very smart businesswoman. Go look at her stuff. But on that note, I actually want to share, it's not from Coco, but it's another gentleman. And this I found fascinating. So you all have to do it with me because I thought this was so fascinating. Because this is how I learned how much tension I carry in my body. Like I didn't know. I didn't know. Which is part of the reason, like now, why I love my water aerobics, because I can actually feel me stretching out where the tension has been in my body. Right? And so here is the exercise. Are you ready? Okay. All you do is when he did it, he does it with one shoulder. I prefer to do it with two. If you do it with one, you should be able to see the difference. But I like to do it with two, and I'm fine. So all that you do is relax. We're still work hard, play harder, play hardering. Made up word. Yes, I know. All right. And all you do is you basically squeeze your shoulders up towards your ear as close as you can get and hold it for 10 seconds. And we're going to do it together. So 1001, 1002, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then release. Here is the crazy thing. When you release, your shoulders go down lower than they were when you started. That is a sign that you are so used to, like, you're so tight and so tense that it's like, oh my God, every time I do it, I'm amazed. I'm like, oh my God, that is amazing. So that's a temporary reprieve from the tension you're carrying around, but it's just temporary. What needs to happen is that you need to find your play harder moment. You need to find the thing that gives you relaxation. If that's a woosah, if that's a quiet room at your office, shutting off your lights and closing your office door if you have an office, or if it's reading or a book, I love to play beach sounds in my office. Or if I'm starting to get tense, I love classical music. It helps me unwind. That's me. What is you? What works for YOU? Figure that out, because there's no reason, like even now, I feel myself starting to do it again. There is no reason for you to walk around tight and tense. And it's the holidays. And that can go either way, right? So all the cooking, cleaning, prepping, wrapping, shopping, buying, and people, when they're shopping, can go either way as well, right? They can be really nice or really rude. And some of you cannot drive to save your lives. And I think you've all been driving in front of me recently. So, but we're not going to be tense about that, all right, people? I want you to utilize that shoulder technique whenever you feel it coming on, whenever you feel it happening. Give yourself those 10 seconds and then let it go. All right, really. So, my hope for you, we have one more episode for the 2021 year before we go into 2022. But still, my Christmas wish or Christmas blessing, whichever way you want to put it, is that I hope the best for you. I hope that you will be in peace, live in peace, love in peace, and be loved in return. And so I hope that your Christmas wishes are for more than things. And I hope that you get those wishes exactly as you asked for them. All right. So we are about to say goodbye. Once again, want to thank you all. Thank you for your support. Please do go to our YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Please subscribe. Really want to get those subscriptions up. And if you really want to show love, subscribe and share with others and ask them to do the same. All right. So, once again, this is Shirley here at WorkHARDaholics, wishing you a Merry Christmas and that you would live better, do better, be better, and happy entrepreneuring. Ta-ta!
Let Socialita help your business stand out from the crowd by building your brand success through social media management. We're located at 1510 Willow Drive, Suite 100. Our website is www.socialitarva.com. You can also give us a call at 804-484-2001. Again, Socialita.
Imagine Media Lab, in partnership with the Women's Business Center, offers hourly rental to a multimedia studio. Create or edit digital assets for marketing. Record that podcast you've always wanted to start. Voiceovers and live stream. All equipment and software is included in your hourly rental. Located at the Women's Business Center, 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100. ImagineMediaLabs.com. Book your session today.